Hello, Shaker Heights baseball fans, and welcome here to Bedford, Ohio. We are here at the Bedford High School baseball field just east of the high school itself to once again see your Red Raiders on the road to face a Lake Erie League opponent. Of course, the Bedford Bearcats being that opponent today. The Red Raiders stand 9-0 in the LEL, allowing Shaker the chance today to clinch the LEL title with a victory today. With 7 teams in the LEL. Each team plays 12 games against the other 6 teams, one home and one away. Sometimes we have seen both contests take place in the same location, but that's only due to doubleheaders and other special instances. But after sweeping Warrensville Heights, Garfield Heights, Cleveland Heights, and Lorraine, the Red Raiders are looking to finish that sweep against Bedford after their home senior day victory against them yesterday. Now, yesterday we didn't exactly see something we expect, or we did see something we don't exactly expect to see much more going forward in the season, and that is all 8 seniors were out on the field at once with only one other player at a time. These seniors were honored yesterday, and they include Marcus Birch, Flynn Block, Wes Call, Sam Frigoletti, Nolan James, Eli Kuda, George McGinnis, and Cooper Mears. Each of these seniors got a full inning on the hill, except for the actual pitcher here today, Wes Call, and that is to allow him to pitch the full game today, if possible. But here we go. Standing in is going to be Eli Kuda. He's batting leadoff for the Red Raiders, and he will take a ball to start today's game. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is excited to commentate this one for you. The next to him, outside. Oh, looked like it would have been outside, not the call. And quickly I am able to say the umpire sees what he sees, and he calls what he calls there. The instance looked a bit outside, but not the call. He saw it differently. The 1-1 to Kuda. Cut on and missed, 1-2. A good pitch got Kuda chasing. And so quickly he's going to have to protect. 1 ball and 2 strikes on him. Behind him it's Flynn Block. But we'll see what he can do here. First, he'll fight it off. Over to that right side, it will go foul. And the next to Eli Kuda. We'll do it again at 1-2. The pitch. That's very much inside. Almost got him, but not the case. We go to even, 2-2. Hasn't been too strong in his hitting game, though he has succeeded when need be. This one's fouled back over to that left side. It'll get into that football field over to the left side. Luckily not going to hit anyone, but noted. Eli Kuda batting with a .240 average entering today. Looking to expand upon that with a base hit here, and that will just get down in shallow right field. He is lucky. That one was just about a foot away from the glove of the second baseman. Luckily, just elevated enough, and Kuda, as the leadoff man, will be on with nobody out here as we begin our ball game. Shaker looking to go to back-to-back victories and sweep the Bedford Bearcats, except it will not be an easy feat. Yesterday, had a bit of a tough time. This one's popped up, and it'll be an easy pop-out for the shortstop. So with that, 1 away and 1 on, that'll bring up Quentin Garnett. Once again, we're not seeing Will Tagan in the lineup, and that is due to head coach Stephen English perhaps trying to give him some rest. But Nolan James sticking in the lineup. He's on the on-deck circle batting in the 4-hole. This first offering, perhaps a bit elevated. I assume that is what the umpire saw, because if not, that was in the center of the strike zone if it was just a bit down. 1-0 to open up the catcher's AB, or normally the catcher. Today he's the third baseman. Quentin Garnett can take either spot. And here's a stealing attempt by Eli Kuda. The slide. And they got him. Good throw from the catcher, making it work. And there you go. 2 away with nobody on. Kuda, not with the biggest jump that we normally see before the delivery, and with that, he's caught stealing. 1 out away from having a scoreless inning. This one's low and away. A ball. Once more to Quentin Garnett. Looking to bring the 4-hole hitter Nolan James up to the plate. However, at the moment, not looking too likely. The pitch inside and a bit elevated as well. That's ball number 4. That will bring Nolan James, the power bat, up to the plate. We have seen him hit a couple dingers here this season. By a couple, I do mean exactly a couple. 2 back at home. None away just yet. In the outfield, nothing but trees and green land. This one's popped up. And it looks like the catcher might have it in foul ground. Oh, no. Just out in front of him. Perhaps got lost a bit in the sunlight over behind us. But he just could not track it down. Nolan James lucky to continue his at-bat. Yesterday, Nolan James went 0 for 4 for only being hitless for the 4th time this season. Not a typical occurrence, and it's looking to be a bounce-back game for him here. Garnett taking his lead, and here, contact made down the third base line, but foul before it can make its way past that third base. So there you go, Nolan James staying alive with swings like that. That one fouled. Quentin Garnett standing over at first. Here as we just begin the top of inning number 1. Here that third baseman needs time to tie his shoes, but now he'll get it. And now Nolan James is set. The next to him. Ooh, Quentin Garnett with a beauty of a jump. And a high elevated throw is going to get into shallow center. Quentin Garnett not going to advance any further. The center fielder right behind the elevated throw. But with that, there you go. A successful steal from your catcher, typically, but third baseman today, Quentin Garnett. So now a man in scoring position for the big bat of Nolan James. Looking to get the Red Raiders a quick lead. That pitch inside for sure. But decent pitch location. That is a pitch that you will see many high schoolers pull the trigger on. Just that's not the case with Nolan James. The next offering swung on, fouled back over to that left side near head coach Stephen English. Though he's not taking a beating just yet with all these fouls over to that left side. Hopefully it stays that way. The next offering fouled back over to that right side, and that will just get over the fences into the trees over to the right side. It's Quentin Garnett in scoring position at second. Nolan James up at the plate. Behind him, it's Will Berglund. We'll see if he gets an at-bat here in the top of the first. Bedford not looking to have that happen, but so far, plenty of pitches in this AB. That one up and in, and add one more. Nolan James battling in this at-bat, and that is what you like to see from the senior. Garnett still taking his lead. He hasn't stolen this AB, but he had a great jump that last time. He did successfully steal second. This one's fouled over to that right side once more. Very elevated, and it will just get behind the bleachers. Will Tagan, the man going to get it in foul ground. He's the man on the bench here today. Nolan James, my goodness, what an AB to begin his day. Quentin Garnett in scoring position. Nolan James looking to do something about it. He will check his swing, and my goodness, what a walk. That plate discipline was just tremendous. Nolan James rightfully earning his spot over at first. Garnett still going to be the man in scoring position. He's the third baseman in this one, but for the moment he's at second. Behind him, Nolan James at first. At home plate, that'll bring up Will Berglund. I believe he's got 2 home runs to his name as well this season. And a big swing and miss, looking to do some more damage with a swing like that. Not going to be the case. He'll get nothing but air to open up his at-bat. 0-1 is our count. So we started off with 2 away and no men on. Here Garnett looking for a steal, and he is safe. Good throw. This catcher has been right on the money with these stealing attempt. But there you go. Quentin Garnett moving forward in his scoring position. He's at third. Nolan James on the double steal will advance from first to second. Will Berglund going to need to do some damage, however. That one just a bit elevated a ball. And this next offering just a bit outside a ball. Behind Berglund, it's Braden White. He is the catcher here today. Normally, that's the only spot where we see him, unless it's in the designated hitter position. Today, that's Nolan James. We saw his tremendous at-bat earlier. This time, it's upstairs, ball number 4. And my goodness, 2 outs, nobody on, turns to 2 outs, bases loaded for the sophomore Braden White. He's got an opportunity to do some damage. He's got a couple of home runs to his name as well. We'll see what he can do. The catcher wanting a bit of a mound visit because at the very beginning he was in a bit of a groove, though he hasn't gotten any strikeouts just yet. The first out, a pop-up to short. And the next out, a stealing attempt catch over at second, and that will hit him. The pitch, gonna run in on his shoulder, and there you go. The Red Raiders taking a quick early lead as Braden White gets hit by a pitch, and everyone goes station to station. Coming home, Quentin Garnett, he represents the now go-ahead run. This pitch upstairs and out. Fogarty now the batter. He's the left-handed hitter in the left-handed hitter's box. At first, it's Braden White. At second, Will Berglund. At third, Nolan James. The 1-0 pitch to Andrew Fogarty. Low, another ball. And my goodness, this pitcher is having a tough time. From 2 outs, nobody on, to bases loaded, still with 2 outs, of course, but they already got a run in on the hit by pitch from Braden White. A quick at-bat for him, as one pitch brings him to first. The next offering, upstairs. 3-0 goes our count. And it's looking like this pitcher is again at risk of bringing in a run without any baseball-to-bat contact. The 3-0, perhaps he'll get a pitch to hit, but we'll see. And that one will catch the strike zone just a bit on that outside half of the plate, but it will catch it, just barely. Good pitch location from him there, perhaps a bounce-back pitch. But now we are at 3 balls and 1 strike, 2 away. The pitch. And that is upstairs. There's the walk. And once again, everyone goes station to station. Fogarty goes to first as Nolan James represents the second run of the ball game quickly here in this one. He'll go from third to home. 2-0 is our score. At first, Andrew Fogarty. At second, Braden White. At third, Will Berglund. Shaker up 2-0, looking to do some more damage. Brett Moore is in the right-handed hitter's box. The first offering to him, upstairs and in. And at the moment, I wouldn't pull the trigger either on much of these pitches. This next one definitely hittable. Can that one find the grass? It'll be a bloop single. That'll bring in Will Berglund. Braden White heading home too. Brett Moore looking to steal second as well, but he is out. Looking to just advance a little bit more, but got a little bit greedy as he was stuck between first and second, and with that, Shaker will take the lead. 4-0 goes our score, and Shaker off to a quick, successful start. And with that, we will see Wes Call come to the mound. He's getting the start here in this one. We will see how he performs as we begin our defensive look at things. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We'll see you as we see the defense. And thank you very much for tuning in. We are getting set for the bottom half of inning number 1. Wes Call getting the start on the mound here today. And his first offering will be down low for ball 1 to open up his outing. Wes Call, the only one of the 8 seniors yesterday who did not pitch. And that is because coach told him, you can go the whole game tomorrow. And there, just barely got him out. It was a tapper back to Wes Call. He'll make the throw to first. And no, Berglund did have to jump a little high for that one. He will come down first before the foot of the Bearcat runner hits first. So there you go. A quick out. Number 1. And the kick-in pitch to open up this one in the dirt into that other batter's box. So it'll catch the outside. 1-0. And this one will catch the strike zone. That one changing up pitch location. That one inside. I know we're hearing some groans from the home supporters. That's the call we get. And oof. These calls are rather surprising. And the 1-2. Down low. Oh, and that time, can't really dispute it. That one in the dirt. The baseball's caught up in the netting above home plate. And now this one fouled over to that right side and almost entering that Raider dugout. Luckily it doesn't. No one's harmed in the foul. Wes Call entering today has a 4.2 ERA. But oof, that won't help his cause, as that'll hit him right in the numbers. And I believe that's number 6 making his way over to first. That one looked like it hurt. You could hear that one. So West Call, off of 8 pitches, has gotten a ground out his way. But he's also hit a batter to make him go to first. Now the next offer, cut on and missed. A bit elevated. If he did not pull the trigger, most likely would have been ruled a ball. But this umpire, we're still trying to figure out where his strike zone lies. 4-0 is our score. Shaker with the advantage. Bardo, the runner over at first. Thomas, the batter for the Bedford Bearcats. And the next offering will get him once more. And West Call clearly disappointed. As off of 10 pitches, he's already hit 2. And now catcher Braden White gonna make his way to the mound to meet with his pitcher. Brett Moore also gonna come in from second to meet with him as well. Brett Moore, typically a shortstop, but today head coach Stephen English flip-flopped Flynn Block and Moore. And now the next from Call, swung on and missed. Strike number 1. That's a way to open up the at-bat. Hopefully a bounce-back pitch for Call. However, this one, oof, looked a little inside. It'll be a liner to Flynn Block over at short, and as the lead just too big for the runner over at second, Flynn Block gonna beat him to second. It's a double play, a one-man double play. Way to be Flynn Block. So though he started the season typically at second, recently he's been shifted all over the infield. Shortstop is where he lies today. And there you go. Already off to a great outing on defense for Flynn Block. But now Shaker wanted to get some more insurance. You never know if a mercy rule could happen in the name of high school baseball. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, however. We're only through 1. Shaker is up 4-0. We will be right back. First offering to Cole Klein, our leadoff man, is outside, ball number 1. That's how we start our top of the second here. Shaker up 4-0. And Cole Klein, a smaller build, but lately he's been hot at the plate. Today he's keeping off the starting 9 in the batting order. Cole Klein working a .316 average. His last time batting was on May 5th. This one's fouled over to that left side. That'll enter into the football field to that left side. So that'll bring us to 2 balls and 1 strike. And the next 2 looked a bit outside, but ruled strike number 2. 2-2 is our count to Cole Klein. And we will see what happens next. The next offering swung on, a tapper back to the mound. Our pitcher's got it. And out, number 1. So though Cole Klein has been on to something at the plate recently, he will start his outing 0-for-1, and that will bring us to the top of the lineup once more. Eli Kuda standing in the right-handed batter's box. He's 1-for-1. He got the leadoff single, but did eventually get picked off over at second on the stealing attempt. Nothing you can do about that. There'll be no one harmed. Kuda entering today a .240 average. And this one, once more, fouled back over to the track of the football field, the Bedford football field. (0-2). Kuda's going to quickly have to protect at the plate. There's 1 away. He's not looking to be out number 2. The pitch to him, cut on and missed, and he is out number 2. The first strikeout of the day for Frankenberry. He's already allowed 4 runs to come across there in the very beginning of the ball game. He's allowed 2 hits and 4 walks thus far. The 38th pitch of his outing on its way, and Flynn Block can foul this one over to that left side. No chance of that one being fair down the third base line. Flynn Block 0-for-1, but entering today, he's tied for the best average on the Red Raiders ball club. He's tied with Nolan James with a .345 average. Nolan James batting in the 4-hole today. That one, oof. Looked a bit inside, but not the case. This umpire clearly with a much wider strike zone than most. The goal for both teams is that you just need to adapt, and you already know that is not a strike, as that one is very much outside. It'll go back to the cage, and that'll be a ball to Flynn Block. However, 2 strikes on him, looking to still protect. The pitch. Cut on, fouled back to that left side once more. A lot of fouls to that left side. We've gotten a couple over to this right side, primarily by Nolan James, who really battled in his at-bat. He's in the hole. On deck, it's Quentin Garnett. We'll see if he gets a chance. There is 2 away with Flynn Block. The pitch, cut on, once more, fouled back to the left side. Not exactly surprising anymore. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Block. We'll do it again at 1-2. Block not looking to be The third and final out of the inning. That one right up the middle. Can it find the gap? It can. There you go, Flynn Block keeping the inning alive. That will move him to 1-for-2. And Quentin Garnett, the man on deck, will move up to home plate. We will look to see what he can do. Quentin Garnett 0-for-0 as he got hit by a pitch his first time up. Or excuse me, he got walked his first time up. The man that was hit by a pitch was Braden White. This pitch to Garnett fouled back into the cage. 0-1. A big swing from Garnett, but not exactly going to get him anywhere in fair territory. A man on first. That's Flynn Block, number 10. Today's shortstop who had that inning-ending double play to end the first. A beautiful play from Flynn Block, keeping aware of the game around him. But my goodness, looks like the umpire going to send him back to first. And he's going to call it umpire interference, and that's never what you like to see because the umpire can't blame anyone but himself. Quentin Garnett going to take his lead from first, looking to try and get another stealing opportunity, but here, checking the runner at first. That is Flynn Block, excuse me. Quentin Garnett, the batter. And now it will be Flynn Block trying to move to second once more, and this time it will be successful. No transfer throw is made from Bridgeforth behind the plate, and now it looks like he might be a little banged up. You never know. Behind the dish can always hit you in the wrong spot, and there it looks like it was his wrist. Bridgeforth still shaking that left wrist. Hopefully he's all right and can continue. Yesterday, Bridgeforth was the Bedford pitcher. Bridgeforth went the game throwing 101 pitches. Or excuse me, that's not accurate. My stat book is not correct. But Bridgeforth did go the majority of the game until relief came in from second. But Bridgeforth, for the moment, still checking out his wrist over to the left of home plate. And now it looks like he will be continuing. Though, if a baseball hits you the wrong way on that left wrist, that is not going to feel good. So to recap you on the situation, it's 2 balls and a strike to Quentin Garnett. There's 2 away with a runner on second. The runner on second being Flynn Block. He stole second. The next offering swung on down the third baseline, foul. And head coach Stephen English not able to pick it up over there in foul ground, and he'll get some groans from his dugout as he fails at his job. But with that foul, that'll even us up at 2-2. And this offering, ball 3. We go to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Runner in scoring position is Flynn Block. Quentin Garnett, the batter. He's 0-for-0 after walking his first time up, but looking to get a hit, or he'll take a walk here. Pitch, cut on, a liner in the left. That'll get down into shallow left. Flynn Block rounding third. He will represent run number 5. Quentin Garnett staying content over at first with his single. RBI number 5 for your Red Raiders. Good high pressure single from Quentin Garnett. And that'll bring up Nolan James. He's tied with Flynn Block for the best average coming into today. And Nolan James looking to add more to that average. And here Garnett with a bit of a long lead and just not able to get back in time. He thought he could get the jump, and Nolan James with some groans up at home plate as he just wanted his at-bat before the inning ends. But the inning does end, unfortunately, as Quentin Garnett picked off over at first. But Shaker does add one more to their total. 5-0 is our score. Shaker has the advantage as we head to the bottom of inning number 2. Wes Call returning to the mound. We will be right back to see how he continues his outing. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be right back. And we're back as we begin the bottom half of inning number 2. West Call's first offering of the inning. Low and away, but it'll catch the strike zone. 0-1 is our count. And that one will catch the strike zone. He checked his swing, but it doesn't matter if he went or not, as that one, once again, catching that strike zone. 0-2. A quick, successful count for a West Call. Here it's fouled over to the left side. We'll do it again at 0-2. West Call with 14 pitches to this point. Number 26 had a bit of a stressful first, as moments like that resulted in 2 hit-by-pitch events. Luckily, no damage was done, as Flynn Block was able to seal the deal with the double play. But there, the backwards K will be achieved from West Call, as no swing comes that pitch a bit low and in. But the umpire sees what he sees, he calls what he calls, and there you go. West Call getting the backwards K for the strikeout, his first strikeout of the outing. The next pitch of the next AB, low and away. It'll get away from Braden White. He doesn't have to stress about it, though, as no one's on base. Shaker's up 5-0 as we have 1 out in the bottom of the second. A ball and no strikes to Bridgeforth. He'll swing and miss through the next offering. 1-1. We're to an even count. Bridgeforth, the man that had a bit of a concerning event in that last defensive inning for Bedford. There's a called strike on the outside half of the plate. But Bridgeforth, the man that got hit in the left wrist, causing us to take a bit of a break from play. Here, a dapper up the middle. Flynn Block ranging in, making the throw. It's on time. A beauty of a throw from Flynn Block, and so far he has been on it as we are not even through 2 innings just yet. Still got one more out for West Hall to achieve. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Frankenberry. West Hall so far racking up some contact outs, but nothing too wrong with that. There, good contact into shallow left. Flynn Block can't find it. He was ranging back, but just over his shoulder, he'll get down to the grass, and that is a little bit of a bloop single there for Bedford. Should be their first hit of the ball game. So a 2-out single brings Frankenberry to first, and here another liner. Perhaps the hits can be contagious for Bedford. And the throw in from Eli Kuda, everyone holds where they are. Runner on first, runner on second. Now Bedford might have something cooking with 2 outs. This first one upstairs, West Hall needing to slow things down. Off to a similar first inning as compared to his second here. As he looked great to start it off, but then back-to-back instances of getting runners on the bases brings us to 2 men on. The pitch, cut on and missed. The next offering, oof, that got him up high. At least it sounded like it did, and yes, that it did. Daniels making his way to first, and surprisingly, no one's heading to the mound to talk to call, as he had a great start to the inning. But back-to-back hits and a hit by pitch bring Hudson to the plate. He's the leadoff man, 0 for 1, and it's upstairs to begin his at-bat. 5-0 our score, but Bedford threatening to do some damage here in the bottom of the second. Daniels at first, Pryor at second, Frankenberry over at third. Hudson, the batter. The pitch. A tapper back to the mound. West Hall with the force to first. Berglund is on it. And that is out number 3. So there were 2 outs with no runners on, but Bedford got the bases loaded with 2 outs, but unfortunately just not able to bring home any runs. But let's just say it's definitely fortunate for West Hall, as he is so far keeping a scoreless game for Bedford. But on the other hand, Shaker on offense, they've definitely got something cooking through 2. 5-0 is our score. 4 runs came across in the first, 1 in the second. We'll see if they can do some more damage when we come back. Thank you very much for joining us here in Bedford, Ohio. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're getting set for the top of the third. And up to the plate comes Nolan James. Behind him it'll be Will Berglund and Braden White due up this inning as well. The first of the inning, fouled over that left side. Head coach Stephen English needing to get out of the way. Nolan James, one of the 5 runs for the Red Raiders. And you never know, with a home run, he could be 6. And he has power behind the bat. And oof. This umpire has had some different calls than most. That one looked outside and low, but not the case. A strike on Nolan James, now 2. Now he's got to protect up at the plate. The pitch to him, cut on down the third base line, and once more, foul to that left side. A lot of fouls over to that left side. Not many getting out of the ballpark, but if they do, they enter into the football stadium to the left side. Over to our right, another baseball field. If we face the outfield, a lot of trees. And to the left, the football field for the Bedford Bearcats. This one's got some power behind it, but it looks like it should be foul, and it'll enter into the bullpen of the Bedford Bearcats. We're still waiting for a ball on Nolan James, but so far it's still no balls and 2 strikes. He is battling AB. The pitch to him. Cut on this one will be a tapper over to second. It should be an easy ground out, and that it is. Nolan James not able to beat that out. It was just a routine ground out, and the routine ground out was made successfully. So Nolan James 0-1. He hasn't had a hit in his last several at-bats. And that'll cue up Will Berglund. He also walked his last time up. He was in the middle of 3 straight walks. And this time that should get down. A liner into right. And there you go. He should be content with a single, and that he is. He rounds first, but won't do anything about it. There was no roll in the outfield. It dropped down, and it kind of went over to the left a little bit, over to the outfielder. But no roll back to the wall, which is somewhat surprising. Let's just say it's not turf out here. Will Berglund taking his lead as Braden White stands in. And there is ball number 1. Braden White 0 for 0 as well. He was the last of the 3 straight walks. And here, the steal from Will Berglund will be successful, as no transfer is able to be made from Bridgeforth, as it just got away from him and made its way to the backstop. So Berglund in scoring position with 1 away. A ball, a strike, and an out. And that one will get him once more. No baseball to bat contact just yet from Braden White. He walks his first time up and gets hit by a pitch, his second. Tough break for Braden White. He'll stand at first, as Will Berglund was already in scoring position at second. Andrew Fogarty is now the batter. Excuse me, Braden White didn't walk his first time up. He's got hit by a pitch both times out. Excuse me. Andrew Fogarty did walk, however. And the first pitch to him, he's showing bunt. And normally he's calling that. There he does not. Won't catch the outside half of the strike zone. 1-0 opens up the at-bat for Andrew Fogarty. Runner at first is Braden White. He's been hit by a pitch twice already in our first 3 innings. Will Berglund in scoring position at second. And the same pitch location. This time will be catching that outer half of the strike zone. You never know. A ball and a strike and an out with 2 men on here in the top of the third. The pitch to Fogarty will be outside. Perhaps a wee bit elevated as well, but I don't believe that's the deciding factor of the ball. 2-1 goes our count. Fogarty looking to do some damage. The question is, can he? The pitch. Swung on. This one, a tapper over to second. Should be an easy ground out. And there you go. However, we'll advance the 2 runners. Braden White moving from first to second. Berglund from second to third. So now 2 men in scoring position. But the unfortunate part is now there's 2 away. Brett Moore is 1 for 1. He got a beautiful single his first time up. Number 18's the second baseman. As I said earlier, he's flip-flopped with the shortstop Flynn Block. The next offering, cut on, foul, back into that backstop. 1-1, our count goes even. There's 2 away with 2 on, both in scoring position. White at second. At third, it's Berglund. In a 5-run ball game advantage, Red Raiders. Brett Moore entering today with a 250, looking to do some more, and with a swing like that, you're gonna. It'll get into shallow left center, and with an elevated throw, will it get him? That it will. But that'll bring home 1 run. Berglund is that 1 run. But a good throw. It looked very elevated, but it beat Braden White anyway. Phenomenal accuracy from Liddon out there at center. And Bridgeforth with the catch. He is the catcher, of course. And he'll apply the tag to Braden White. But 1 run comes across. That's Will Berglund. And so as we tack 1 on, that'll bring us to a 6-0 score. Shaker in the lead as they look to clinch the LEL title with a victory here. They just got to finish this one up. They're up 6. Let's see if they can keep going when we come back. We're back for the bottom of inning number 3, and that pitch very much inside on number 4. As we begin the bottom of the 4th, Wes Call is entering the 3rd, pitching 27, 19 of which are strikes. He is just attacking these Bedford hitters. A ball and a strike begins the at-bat, and there's strike number 2. And that one As I say, it could have been right down the middle. So 1-2 to Bordeaux. And that one, oof, just barely a ball. Perhaps a little bit of a lucky call. And now this one, fouled back. Braden White can't hang on to it. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as we begin the bottom of the third. So far, surprising and unexpected strike zone from the umpire. There, a swing in the dirt. And that. And it's a foul ball, supposedly. Never mind. These umpires have been unexpected. A surprising strike zone thus far. Perhaps a little wider, but not too elevated at all. This one's popped up. It looks like Braden White is going to go for it, and he dropped it. Just not able to make the play on it, and that is unfortunate. Perhaps just got lost a bit in the sun, but the sun moreover to that left side behind home plate. But turning to see, that could mess up your vision. So an unfortunate reach on an error for Bordeaux. And the leadoff man is on. Thomas up to the plate, and it's ball 1 to him. Outside and a bit elevated as well to begin the at-bat. Bottom of the third, 1 man on, he's over at first. That's Bordeaux. Swing and a miss from Thomas. That'll even up the count, 1-1. And now here, pickoff attempt, he's safe. That was close, though. So with a 1-1 count, Westcall has pitched 36, 25 of which are strikes. A solid ratio, 25 strikes. Only allowed 2 hits. So runner at first, it's Bordeaux. That one up and into the trees. And now this one upstairs, ball 4. 2 men on, both leadoff men are on here as we begin the bottom of the third. Bordeaux moves from first to second. Thomas reaching first on ball 4. Westcall not off to a strong third inning outing. Third inning outing. The first pitch of this baby. The first pitch of this baby cut on and missed. That's Lennon. Lennon with the beautiful precision throw all the way from center field to end the bottom of the third. Here Westcall checking the runner over at second, wanting to keep him close, which you can't blame him for just playing it safe. The next from Call. But it looks like he balked. Not typically something you'll see, but a balk is definitely part of the game. And now the Red Raider fielder is moving inside, trying to perhaps get the runner heading home. This one's popped up, foul, just to the right of the bleachers behind home plate. Will Tagan grabbing it from the dugout. 2 strikes on Lennon. The next offering. Tried to get him to chase with a pitch like that. Just wouldn't pull the trigger. Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody is out with 2 men in scoring position for the Bedford Bearcats. Looking to limit the damage. The next from Call. It'll go back up the middle and find the gap. A throw from Fogarty will not come his way, as it'll be Thomas holding off, but it looks like he'll be coming home. Perhaps with some fielders' interference, and now head coach Stephen English wanting some clarification, perhaps. Umpires' interference, fielders' interference. We've seen a balk, and these are just not typical occurrences, but occurrences we see, but you just never want if you're the defensive side. So, run number 2, I suppose, comes in. 6-2 goes our score. Lennon on first. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. This one cut on and missed. Williams got nothing but air. Williams 0 for 1. He was the 1 strikeout for Bedford. And this one down low, a ball. This umpire with a wider, but not at all taller strike zone, which we see that plenty of times from high school umpires. And there's nothing you can exactly do about it. So there's ball 2, 2-1. And that one almost got him again. Wes Call has already hit 3 batters. Those batters are Lennon, Pryor, and Frankenberry. Luckily, none of them were actually injured on a hit by pitch, but that's just something you never like to see. A pickoff attempt won't be successful. Lennon back in safely. Williams, the batter, with a 3-1 count. This offering. Oof. Just barely caught the inside half of the strike zone. Again, a wider strike zone. The payoff pitch, and yeah, that is not a strike. Very much outside. And now Wes Call is at 51 pitches. And he's only pitched technically 2 innings. He's still yet to get an out here in the bottom of the third. 2 men on. Williams at first, Lennon at second. Bridgeforth the batter. The first to him. That one will get into center. Fogarty ranging to his right. No tag up will be made from Lennon. And there is a routine fly out taken in by Andrew Fogarty, and there is a breath taking first out. Not exactly. That's called sarcasm, as he has pitched so many as we have begun our bottom of the third, but Wes Call just hasn't gotten an out, and with a pitch like that, you gotta be scared for your safety if you're Frankenberry. He's already been hit by a pitch once, and almost twice. Runner at second is Lennon. First, it's Williams, and that one upstairs. Ball 2. 2-0 goes our count. There's only 1 away off of the fly out to Andrew Fogarty in center. 6-2 is our score. Shakers winning. This next one is definitely going to catch the strike zone, and it'll be fouled back into the cage. Strike 1 in the count. Ball count is number 2. And this next offering fouled back right into Braden White, and that'll leave it up the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out with 2 men on in a 4-run ball game. Throwing a lot of numbers at you. So the 2-2 coming Frankenberry's way. And a ball here. Berglund loses the baseball. It's behind him, and now he's going to have to throw home to try and get the runner. Braden White's. Oh, my goodness. That looked in time. I won't lie. Berglund's throw was right on the money. And my goodness. In my opinion, that should have been out number 2. That looks perfectly on time. And a perfect throw from Berglund. But with that, Lennon going to be run number 3 for the Bearcats, and run number 3 this next offering. Can it find the gap? No, it cannot. Block with the throw. And a great throw. And now an advancement from second to third from Lennon, but the throw not in time. But there is 2 outs now in the bottom of the third, with now a runner over at third. Six to 3 now our score. Frankenberry is 1 for 1. But now he is another out. So that'll bring him to 1 for 2. Wes Call just looking to get out of the inning now with 2 away. The pitch, very much outside a ball. This next offering upstairs once again. Wes Call just struggling out there. Specifically this inning. 3 have come across in the third, and the Red Raider lead has been cut down by half. 6 to 3 is both our score and also what the Red Raider lead has come down to. They were up 6, now they're up 3. This next offering popped foul over near us, and foul behind home plate and behind the bleachers behind home plate. Runner at third in a 6-3 ball game. Wes Call not having an inning to remember. And this offering, just not looking like he's in control.
Over there. To your left. Left, right. To your left.
Wes Call wanting to get out of the inning. Will Tagan getting that foul ball from earlier. But with it, Wes Call, Will Tagan wanted the shout out. Wes Call is going to get the final out off of the K. A man will be left behind at third, and he will have a frustrating time heading back to the dugout. But with that, Shaker's 6-run lead has been cut down to 3, and now Shaker has some work to do if they really want a mercy rule and secure a Lake Erie League victory. We will be right back. Shaker is on the road to winning the Lake Erie League. A victory here will clinch it. We'll see if they can do just that, but they need to get their bat going some more. We will be right back. You can enjoy some of the baseball players trying to get the stuck baseball in the netting. Hope you enjoy. Bedford, but aren't we always with our 2-1 goes the count. Cooper Mears is on the on-deck circle. He's replacing the leadoff man, Eli Kuda. Kuda has gone 1 for 2, but head coach Stephen English has told them in the dugout at the very beginning of the game, you are going to split the game in the batting order in that leadoff position. So Cooper Mears is coming in after Cole Klein. Cole Klein just taking a tough strike in just about the same pitch location, ruled differently. And that'll bring our count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody's out just yet. We're just getting set for the top of the 4th inning. Cole Klein, the batter in the left-handed batter's box, swings through a strike, and that'll be right to the first baseman, but he can't handle it cleanly. And that'll be an error for sure. Cole Klein running through the first base line. He will, as the leadoff man of the inning, will be the first base runner of the inning. He's 0 for 1, and he's now going to be 0 for 2, technically, but he'll reach base safely right there. Now it looks like we'll get a mound visit for Frankenberry. Frankenberry so far has pitched 70. Now after the mound visit, Cooper Mears, with the little shimmy of the left leg, will be standing in the left-handed batter's box. And here's a stealing attempt from Cole Klein, and he is in safely. A lot of these stealing attempts have just been close, which is not too often what you see in high school baseball, but that's what you enjoy to see if you're a high school baseball fan. Cooper Mears, the batter, subbed in for Eli Kuda. We'll see what happens on defense, as Cooper Mears typically first baseman, but Eli Kuda today was the outfielder in right. Cole Klein taking his lead from second. The pitch to Mears. Swung on, that most likely would have been a ball, but you never exactly know with the umpire. He'll be safe. He'll beat it out. Way to beat Cooper Mears. I believe the shortstop just believed he had time because he had plenty of time to throw. But with the double clutch, he'll throw it just a bit too late, and that'll bring runners to the corners as Cole Klein advances from second to third, and Cooper Mears will stand on first. Flynn Block now the batter. Block 1 for 2. None of the Red Raider hits have gone for extra bases just yet. But sometimes small ball is what is successful. Cooper Mears with a beautiful jump, and now Flynn Block with a fly out to left. Cole Klein will be tagging up, and he will be safe. He'll be standing as he represents run number 7. The Red Raiders take their lead back up to 4, though after a 3-run third from Bedford. Their lead was 6. Now they're just trying to work that back up. It's 4 at the moment. Now the batter, Quentin Garnett, and that is a ball to the third baseman here today. Sometimes he can be catcher, sometimes he could be over at third. But for the moment, all we really worry about is he's the batter. He'll look over to third for Stephen English's signal, but no matter what the case, that swing just not gonna work in succession. Got nothing but air on it, and it'll be a ball and a strike. There's one away as well here in the top of the fourth. Mears taking his lead. He'll check the runner over at first. He'll step off the mound as well. Cooper Mears back in, though there is no throw made his way. And here, the pitch up and in. Garnett needing to back out of the way a little bit with his torso. And there's another ball to him. Cooper Mears keeping with his lead from first. And now he'll run for it. The throw doesn't look like it'll be on time, and that it is not. It'll hit Cooper Mears. But that will never do the job. He has walked once. And now the first pitch to Nolan James, up high a ball. That wind gust coming from east to west. Outfield to infield. Now Nolan James has a chance to do some damage, and with a swing like that, you are hoping he would. And my goodness, these umpires, it feels like they just need to get out of the way. I mean, another umpire interference. And, that's never what you like to see if you're the runner, because it would have been a successful stolen base. But Cooper Mears going to have to stick over at second. At first, it's Quentin Garnett, and a beauty of a swing from Nolan James. Cooper Mears rounding third. He'll be run number 8. Garnett going to stick over at second. Cooper Mears in safely. 8-3 now our score. There you go, Red Raiders trying to take that lead right back. Nolan James with his first hit in what feels like a minute. As he's won for his last 6, but at least he's won. As that single will bring in Cooper Mears as the RBI. Quentin Garnett moving from first to second. Nolan James taking his spot at first. It'll bring up Will Berglund. He's 1 for 1. And the first offering fouled back into the cage. Berglund's walked once, and he also got a single as well. So let's just say he's been efficient at the plate so far. The question is, can he keep it going here in the top of the fourth? The pitch. Upstairs to him. James at first. Garnett at second. A ball and a strike to Will Berglund with 1 away. The pitch. Up high. The 2-1 on its way. Cut on and missed. A big swing from Will Berglund. Trying to get the lead up to 8, but we'll stick with 5 for the moment. Will Berglund, with that big swing and miss, will take us to an even count, 2-2. There's 1 away. On deck is Braden White. This one fouled back into the cage. 8-3 our score. Shaker wants to do some more damage, so they can hopefully end this in a mercy rule. But they're only up 5. They're only halfway there. Will Berglund looking to change that. The pitch. And that is a pitch to hit, and he tried for it, but gets nothing but air on the swing. He'll head back to the dugout as he's a strikeout victim. And Braden White will come up to the plate. Now, let's just say, in his 2 at-bats, he has just taken a beating. 2 hit-by-pitch events. And that pitch will catch the strike zone. Let's just say Braden White might be a little concerned for his safety up there as he enters in for his third time of the evening. There's two away. And that is a pitch to hit, but it'll be up in the air into left center, and the routine flyout is made. Shaker getting their lead back up to 5 after having it cut down to 3. They lead 8-3, and Shaker just working to really get the victory today. Not too interested in a mercy rule. They just want the victory, as with a win here today, they win the Lake Erie League. But we are only through half of the ball game. We're midway through the fourth. Shaker has some work to do on defense. We will be right back to see how they fare. And thanks for joining us here in the bottom of the fourth. And we've got a pitching change for the Red Raiders, and it's going to be Marcus Birch. And let's just say that's not a move that we could have expected. But there you go, that's why. Right down the middle to open up his outing. Yesterday, Marcus Birch was in for senior day, never a pitcher, but he came in, he pitched 9, and he picked up 8 strikes and 2 strikeouts. That's what I call efficient, and I think that's what anyone is going to ever call efficient. The next offering, upstairs. Let's just say that isn't efficient. Daniel's the batter, and there he's going to hold off. It'll go off the backstop and to Braden White. He'll have a low-pressure situation as no one's on base as we get in the bottom of the fourth, of course. This one will catch the strike zone, the outside half of the plate. That's strike 2. You never know what Marcus Birch could be cooking out there on the mound. However, that's not going to help him, as that's ball 4. Birch didn't walk anyone yesterday, but he struck out 2. This is not what we've seen from him so far. The pitch, and that is a way to open up a new at-bat. That one will most definitely catch the strike zone. He's been calling those corners all night, and each pitcher has taken advantage of that, pitching all throughout, painting the corners. And Daniel's on first. That pitch, a tad bit low for the umpire's liking. Hudson, the batter, but Hudson is 0 for 2. Here, it'll be fouled back. Bedford Bearcats ballpark, I suppose, is one of the very few that we have seen that has the ability to play night games. That one's inside a ball. But you do not typically see
This way. There you go. Go.
lights for night games like that. And my goodness, that is most definitely a balk. However, I suppose it was called a balk beforehand. So, runner in scoring position for the Bedford Bearcats. But as I was saying, this Bedford ballpark, the only one of few that we've seen with lights around the ballpark. So, if anyone wants to play a night game here, why not? You got the ability to do it. That one's upstairs. This pitch swung on. That one very well will find the gap. It's got some depth to it, too. The throw in from Klein. Block. Too late to make a release to home. And there's an RBI double for Hudson. 0 for 2, but now he's going to be 1 for 3 with a beauty of a hit like that. Hudson not leaving without a fight. So 8 to 4 goes our score. Marcus Birch, not at all like an outing that we had yesterday from him. Much less successful. Again, excuse any connection issues we are having today. The pitch. And that should catch the strike zone, and that it will. The pitch. And that should catch the strike zone, and that it will. Looking to give him a pitch to hit with 3 balls and no strikes. And there you go, 3 balls and 1 strike goes our count. There's nobody out just yet here in the bottom of the 4th, but 1 run has already come across and 1 man is in scoring position. The next from Birch. Just outside. He's been calling that all night. But the umpire sees what he sees. He calls what he calls. And there you go. Marcus Birch just not able to get the call going his way. And now Brett Moore wants a moment to talk with his man inside the diamond. Excuse any shifting from our camera. It has been a windy day. Coming from east to west, outfield to infield. And it is a deep baseball field here in Bedford. That one's got some power behind it. Fogarty ranging in, but it's going to be over his head. He'll make the throw in as cutoff man Flynn block, but another run will be coming across anyway. And 2 men will enter scoring position at second and third. Marcus Birch not having a day out there on the hill. The RBI double brings us to an 8 to 5 score. At third, it's Bardo. At second, it's Thomas. Lennon is the batter. Number 2, the number on the back of his white jersey. The Raiders wearing the black cap, black baseball jersey, and gray pants. That pitch outside. Bedford wearing their all-white look with the green caps. Birch with his, I believe, 20th pitch on the way. This one right to Flynn block, and he will definitely trade an out for a run. 8 to 6 goes our score. As that out will trade a run in. Bardo, that run coming in. Thomas moves from second to third. And Shaker having a difficult time this inning. Three runs coming in last inning, and now 3 runs coming in this inning. And Bedford not exactly done yet. There's only 1 out with a man on third. Williams is up to the plate. He is 0 for 1. Williams has struck out once, but he's also walked once. This pitch upstairs and in. Shaker has a bit of a nail biter on their hands. Two balls from Birch, the next offering. Once again upstairs, a lot of these offerings result in upstairs location. The next one, down low, and it will catch the strike zone. With 3 balls and no strikes, we will
Do you want the link for this?
finally get the call.
Go to
And now another balk called on Red Raider pitching. And this time it's on number 7, Marcus Birch. And forget about the runner over at third, as he'll balk in the run. That's run number 7. It's a 1-run ball game. 8-7 goes our score, and it seemed like a much more comfortable ball game for the Red Raiders just moments ago. It was 8-3 entering the bottom of the 4th, and we have only had 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes with that one going right down Main Street. Bases loaded. Count it down with me. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And now the payoff pitch will be nowhere near. It'll be in the opposing batter's box, or the opposite batter's box, I should say, as Marcus Birch, on 26 pitches, has allowed the 4 runs in, and now has allowed in another runner on the first. He has walked 3 and allowed 2 hits. And this one's fouled back over to that right side and over to the fence. And now these Bedford fans, the home supporters, getting a little excited at their team before them, as Marcus Birch is not having a timeout on the hill. 8-7 now our score. Bedford looking to do some more damage and perhaps tie this one up, perhaps take the lead, but we're not getting ahead of ourselves just yet. The pitch, and Braden White not able to pick it out of the dirt. The runner moves from first into scoring position at second. That runner's Williams. Bridgeforth is at the plate now with a 1-1 even count with 1 away. This pitch would have most likely gone right down the strike zone, but guess what? It's a balk. We have seen this balk much too often, and now it looks like head coach Stephen English has seen just about enough. Unless he hasn't. And he's keeping him out there. What a surprising move from Stephen English, but one that he believes in, of course. As Marcus Birch is kept in, he's going to continue his so far 28-pitch inning. There's a ball and a strike on Bridgeforth, but he just balked before he could deliver his 29th, sending Williams from second to third. This pitch down the middle, and the foul is back into the cage. You never know what a mound visit can do to someone, and hopefully this could be signs of a better future of his outing for Marcus Birch. 29 pitches. The 30th is on its way from number 7. And that one just a bit outside. Braden White scrambling for it. Little does he know it's in the left-handed batter's box. But no advancement is made from Williams over at third. 8-7, Williams represents the tying run. The man at the plate, Bridgeforth, represents the go-ahead run if we get to that point. 2 strikes on him. This one's looking like it'll hook foul, and that it will over to the right side. Now we're getting some home supporting chants here from the parents of Bedford. 31st pitch. A tapper to the left of Marcus Birch, and he might have gotten him in a rundown, and that they did. Between third and home, the throw to Marcus Birch won't be on target. It'll get past him and go into the cage. There is the tying run, and my goodness, the Red Raiders are struggling. They had him in a rundown, but the throw home just not gonna work in succession. And it looks like they might keep Marcus Birch out there. 8-8 goes our score. Shaker looking for the Lake Erie League clinching victory against Bedford. But with an outing like this from Marcus Birch in the fourth, and no move to the bullpen, I can't say that the Red Raiders feel too confident right now on the field. This one down low, a ball from Marcus Birch. 2 balls, no strikes. There's 1 out. And the 2-0 will catch the strike zone. The stealing attempt made an awkward bounce to get to Brett Moore at second, but nevertheless, it's just not in time. And our count, 2-1, 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out only here in the bottom of the fourth. Runner in scoring position, he's at second. The pitch, upstairs, ball 3, 3-1. And I can't imagine with another base runner reaching that Stephen English is going to leave Birch out there much longer. This is a much needed victory. And this one, not going to catch the strike zone. And now Stephen English, exiting the dugout. And now, looks like that move will be made. He'll hand the rock over. Looks like Marcus Birch will move elsewhere on the field. We'll just have to see where. And that brings Brett Moore. A surprising move. He has the highest ERA of the team. That's 21. And now as he gets his warm-up pitches, we will be right back as we continue the bottom of the fourth inning. Thanks for joining us. The Red Raiders find themselves still in a sticky situation. Brett Moore enters into the ball game on the mound as Marcus Birch had a much more difficult time on the hill. He only got one out. There's a strike from Brett Moore. But Marcus Birch only got one out while allowing 5 to come across. Marcus Birch allowed 2 hits and 4 walks, bringing in the 5. There's a strike call on him. 2 strikes to Pryor. Bridgeforth taking his lead at second. Frankenberry doing the same at first. The pitch from Moore. A bit low. A ball. Brett Moore entering in the ball game, entering in with a 21 ERA. However, with his just down low. With his outing against Garfield Heights on May 5th, he kept it a scoreless game and a hitless game at that. He struck out 1. And there is a strikeout for Brett Moore. A forwards K there. Got the swinging strikeout. And there is a much needed out number 2. That is going to slow things down for this Bedford offense, and that is needed. As 3 runs came across for Bedford, they're called strike. 3 came across in the 3rd for Bedford. 5 came across in the 4th for Bedford. But we are still in the 4th, and Bedford might not be done just yet. However, that one's right down Broadway for strike number 2. And Daniels is going to have to quickly protect with no balls and 2 strikes. And just barely missed with the lower outside ball. Close to the strike zone. Surprised he actually didn't get the call. The next offering. Tried to get him to chase once more, and it'll even us up from 0-2 to 2-2. Off the 2 straight strikes and then the 2 straight balls outside of the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with 2 men on. And that one low in the dirt. And from a no ball and 2 strike count to a 3 balls and 2 strike count. The pay-off pitch from Brett Moore will catch the strike zone. He'll catch a forwards K and a backwards K. And Brett Moore shut down the Bedford offense when the Red Raiders needed it most. But let's just say the damage here in the bottom of the 4th is done. We entered into the bottom of the 4th with a Red Raider lead 8-3. Bedford ties it up 8-8. And Shaker has got some work to do if they still have hopes of clinching the Lake Erie League here today. We will be right back for the top of the 5th inning. Thanks for joining us as we begin the top of the 5th. Shaker needing to get something going on the offensive side of things after they couldn't hold back the Bedford Bearcats in that last bottom of the fourth. But now Andrew Fogarty stands it, and he's 0 for 1. He's walked once. He's also got an RBI to his name. The 1-0. And oof. This strike zone is just rather unpredictable from this umpire. Though it's how the game goes, it's just not exactly something you would typically want if you're a batter. And this one down low, a ball. 2-1 goes our count. 2 balls, 1 strike, and nobody out as we begin the top of the fifth. Frankenberry with his 93rd pitch of his outing. Fogarty looking to do some damage after a rough bottom of the fourth on defense. Eight to 8 is our score. We're tied here in Bedford, Ohio. Shaker with a victory here is going to clinch the Lake Erie League and clinch that number 1 position. This pitch to Fogarty will find the gap and enter into shallow left center. Fogarty rounding first, but he'll stick over at first with assistant coach Welsh. And that'll make way for Brett Moore, who entered in as pitcher in the bottom of the fourth, but he came in to a sticky situation in 1 out with a man on first and second. That comes from a rough outing from Marcus Birch, who started the inning. But Brett Moore came in and he struck out the only 2 batters he faced. And let's just say that's what you like to see from Moore. Moore is just having himself a ball game as well. I mean, he's 2 for 2. He's got 3 RBI. That one will catch the strike zone for sure. But Brett Moore 2 for 2 now, looking to go 3 for 3 in the future. Fogarty taking his lead and the pitch to Brett Moore. In that. And that'll bring us to 1 ball and 2 strikes off the foul ball. That pitch was number 97 from Frankenberry, and we'll see how much longer Frankenberry can go. The 98th from him. A bit upstairs, just barely. A ball and 2 strikes. We got an even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're at an even count. Nobody's out just yet. Fogarty taking his lead from first. The pitch to Moore. Cut on. This one should be a fly out over to left. And that it will be. Fogarty heading back to first. And Shaker just needing to get something going. Get some runs on the board here in the top of the. But Frankenberry with 99 pitches up to this point, and he's going to be hitting the century mark with his next offering. To open up the at-bat to Cole Klein, it'll be upstairs for pitch number 100 from Frankenberry. Cole Klein 0 for 2, and that pitch caught the outside half of the strike zone for strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here in the top of the fifth. There's 1 man on at base number 1. A lot of ones up on the scoreboard. But the 1 attempt, and he's safe. And that was close. And we will get any complaints from the home supporters here in Bedford. But no vocalization is going to exactly change the umpire's mind out there in the infield. This pitch outside for ball number 3. 3 balls and 1 strike to Cole Klein, the smaller build, who's been pretty successful at the plate of late, but today he's 0 for 2. We'll see what's in his future with this pitch coming his way, and that will bring us to full. A strike. That'll bring up Cooper Mears. He reached last time up. And this pitch cut on right over to second. They're looking to turn two, and the first out over at second is made. Cooper Mears will be safe as he flies down the first base line. But Cole Klein will be out on the force at second. So runners at the corners, Fogarty at third, Cooper Mears at first. And coming up to the plate, it'll be Flynn Block, the shortstop in this one. And he's looking to shoot that one down the third base line, but not with much succession, as that one winds up foul. Two out here with Flynn Block at the plate, with runners at the corners. Big RBI opportunity for him. The pitch swung on a liner into center, and with a leaping grab, an athletic play from Lennon out at center field, that will end the inning. Great contact from Flynn Block, but a better play out in the outfield from Lennon. And my goodness, what an eventful inning for each side of the party. Shaker still not able to get anything going to counter the Bedford Bearcats' successful last two innings. 3 came across in the third, 5 came across in the fourth. The question is, what will the fifth hold? Brett Moore returning to the mound. We'll see if he can shut him down when we come back. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We've still got 2.5 to go. Oof. Excuse me. Where the audio hasn't exactly been working here in the bottom of the fifth. Hopefully this will get it to work. My apologies. But here's what's happening. Brett Moore, off his 33 pitches up to this point, he's allowed the go-ahead run to score, but there is 2 away. But keep in mind, Williams is the runner at first. Lennon is the runner at second. This pitch is up high. So Bedford looking to keep Shaker Heights away from a Lake Erie League victory. And that time, he did go around. A ball and a strike to him. Bridgeforth the batter. The pitch. Cut on and missed. Bridgeforth, the pitcher in yesterday's affair. That one back home in Shaker Heights. And now he's got to protect with a ball and 2 strikes to his name. The next offering from Brett Moore is on its way. And that's a ball just barely outside. The 2 outs were recorded from a leaping beauty of a grab from Will Berglund out in right. The other off of a stealing catch over at third. And that was a beauty of a throw from Braden White. There, a strikeout to cap us off. Brett Moore getting out of the inning with limited damage. However, Shaker's got some work to do. They find themselves down 1 through 5. Our score is 9-8 as Shaker makes their way to the plate. Thanks for joining us. The next pitch to Berglund. Cut on. This one fouled over to the right side. That will not be in playable territory. Garnett on first. He represents the tying run, the 9th run. Shaker down 9-8. Will Berglund's got power behind the bat, but sometimes he is, honestly, very frequently a strikeout victim up at the plate. Feels like he gets all of it or he doesn't get any of it. Normally his strikeouts are off of a swinging strike. Garnett taking his lead from first. The next to Will Berglund. Outside, but ruled a strike. Number 19, the number on the back of his black jersey. He'll get the signal to his left from Stephen English, the head coach of the Red Raider baseball team. And here, it's got some power behind it. That one's over in left center, and I will get all the way to the wall. And rounding third, it's going to be Quentin Garnett. He will be in safely at home. The Red Raiders tie this one back up at 9 apiece. Berglund in at second off the RBI double. A victory here will clinch the Lake Erie League for the Red Raiders all to themselves. A big swing and miss from Braden White. Berglund representing the go-ahead 10th run for the Red Raiders. For now, we're tied at 9. The next pitch to Braden White, low and away. Fogarty is on the on-deck circle for the Red Raiders. Pick-off attempt at second, or perhaps just trying to keep him close. But regardless, Berglund's going to be back in on the dive at second. With a man in scoring position, you never know what the Red Raiders can have cooking, as sometimes hits just seem to be contagious for a team like this. Here it'll get away from the catcher, and without a throw, Berglund will advance from second to third. So now, the runner's at third for Braden White. Deeper into the scoring position makes it more likely always that Shaker can take the lead. 9-9, our score at the moment. Braden White, the sophomore, in the right-handed batter's box. He's the catcher in today's affair. 3 balls to him, but a strike as well. The next offering outside, ball 4. And that'll bring up Andrew Fogarty. Runners at the corners. Braden White at base number 1. Will Berglund at base number 3. Number 2 is unoccupied. However, it looks like we'll get a courtesy runner as Braden White needs to make sure he gets his catcher's gear on in the name of Shaker returning on defense. Will Tagan looks like he'll get some swings in as well. He's in the on-deck circle in replacement. Andrew Fogarty in the left-handed hitter's box. Not something we typically see in high school ball, but something we pretty commonly see in Red Raider baseball. No throw being made to second. They don't want Berglund coming in from third, so no throw will be made to second. Frigoletti advancing from first. And now 2 runners in scoring position. You never know. Shaker would like some insurance if they even take a lead here. 1 out for Andrew Fogarty. The next offering. Inside a ball. So now first base, the only one unoccupied. The next to Fogarty. Just a bit down low. That is a tempting pitch location. If you're Andrew Fogarty, that's just good plate discipline. If you got bases loaded, which we're not there yet, but with these plenty of balls being thrown from the pitcher, it could come to that. But for the moment, a balk will bring Berglund home from third. Now each team has balked in a run one way or another. Berglund coming in from third. He's the 10th and go-ahead run for your Red Raiders. Frigoletti from second to third. And there is ball 4 to Andrew Fogarty. Now here comes Will Tagan. He's in replacement for Brett Moore, and as Brett Moore is the pitcher at the moment, we will see if Tagan actually enters in to pitch. But we will see moving forward as the Red Raiders return to defense. This next to Tagan will catch the strike zone. The stealing attempt will be cut off by the second baseman. And so now, once again, 2 men in scoring position. Frigoletti at third, Fogarty at second. The man at the plate, Will Tagan, he's dangerous. He leads the team in home runs, you never know. A swing like that, he's trying to do it again, just a bit too under it, and he'll pop it foul over to the right side. The next offering. Oof. Tough take, but he'll take it. And surprisingly, it's a ball call. Will Tagan standing in. Opportunity to get some insurance. The Red Raiders want to clinch the Lake Erie League with a victory here. Will Tagan taking some big swings as he steps out of the right-handed batter's box. Frigoletti at third. At second, Andrew Fogarty. Opportunity for Will Tagan. The pitch. Outside, a ball once more to Will Tagan. And so far, he's having a good at-bat. Good plate discipline, and he has fouled it off a couple times as well. Cole Klein, the man in the on-deck circle. And that one's outside. Ball number 4 to Will Tagan, and he will load the bases as he takes his spot at first. That'll mean Frigoletti will stay at third, and at second, Fogarty will remain. And now we'll get a mound visit. We'll see if any move is going to be made. And it looks like that it will. We will take a break, and when we come back, Shaker's going to have bases loaded. They're up now, 10-9. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We will be back after these warm-up pitches. And then Tagan at first. At second, it's Andrew Fogarty. And at third, it's Sam Frigoletti. Outside. Frigoletti on at third due to entering in as a courtesy runner in replacement of Braden White. And this one's fouled back. And it looks like it'll be playable. That it will be. He will be the second out. And that is a big bounce back out if you're that pitcher.
Let's go 14.
That'll bring up Cooper Mears. He's the leadoff man after entering in for Eli Kuda. That pitch outside. Cooper Mears, the batter in the left-handed batter's box. And that one's right down the middle for a strike. And that one's going to hit him in the numbers. Cooper Mears taking one for the team. And let's just say he was hit a couple times in yesterday's affair against Bedford at home, where he also tried to make his way through for first base line, but he collided with the first baseman. And, yeah, that was a dangerous play. But here he stands on first base once again. 11-9 goes our score. And this one going to be behind Flynn Block. That is dangerous. And you can tell Andrew Fogarty is thinking about it over at third, but he will hold back. He'll stick with the security of third. At second, it's Will Tagan. At first, it's Cooper Mears. He just got hit in the numbers on the back of his jersey, number 5, that number. But for the moment, we're focusing on Flynn Block. He's the man at the plate. He's been in the number 2 hole here today. There's 2 away for Flynn Block. Bases are loaded. And this one swung on line, foul off to the left side. Shaker taking the lead 11-9. They have the advantage of the 20-run ball game, which in high school honestly isn't too uncommon, but oftentimes it is. And you can see over at Cooper Mears at first, and we'll take it at second. They are taking on Flynn Block. Make Andrew Fogarty run number 12 as he enters in from third. Quentin Garnett standing in. He's the third at home, and Quentin Garnett going to keep content at first as Flynn Block moves up to third. Runners at the corners now. (14-9) now our score. Quentin Garnett stealing second without a throw. You don't want Flynn Block to move from third home. Nolan James, the batter. He's heading to Notre Dame after this year. He looks to continue his baseball legacy. And that one inside on him. He's lucky it didn't get him up high. Nolan James 1 for 3. Yesterday he was 0 for 4, getting no hit. Only for the 4th time this season. That one's fouled back over into the backstop. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Shaker just seems to continue to rack up runs here in the inning. 2 balls and a strike to Nolan James. And the swing fouled back over towards us. And that almost hit me. But luckily we're okay. We'll keep streaming. Two in an even count. It'll be down low. Full count. There's 2 away, a high-pressure situation for Nolan James, the designated hitter. The payoff pitch swung on. This one's going to find the gap between third and second. Flynn Block entering in from third. Quentin Garnett sticking at third. Nolan James will be in at first. Runners at the corners in a now 6-run ball game. So after a bit of a visit from his catcher, number 7, Thomas, is still going to be in on the mound. Nolan James most definitely going to advance from first to second. However, Thomas going to check the runner. So runners at the corners. The pitch swung on and missed from Will Berglund. He has been a strikeout victim here today. Nolan James taking his lead. We'll see if he steals, and that he will. A good jump. This one's fouled back in. Nolan James will have to return home. Umpire delivering the news And with his head hanging down, Nolan James going to have to make his way back to first. So runners will remain at the corners. At third, it's Quentin Garnett, the third baseman. At first, it's the designated hitter, Nolan James. Will Berglund, the batter. Pickoff attempt. Will not be in time. Nolan James in standing at first. Will Berglund in the right-handed batter's box. Looking to grab some more insurance, but as it's 15-9, you wonder if much more insurance is particularly needed. That one's upstairs. Nolan James taking the opportunity to advance to second. At third, it's Quentin Garnett. In a 6-run ball game, Will Berglund's batting with 2 away. The next to him. Inside and a little elevated as well, ball 2. We're even in the count, 2-2. The pitch, swung on. Can this one find the gap? Of course it can. Will Berglund getting an RBI. Nolan James rounding third. Quentin Garnett and James will be runs 16 and 17, and it's an 8-run ball game. It has been 2 outs for a while. And Braden White is still in the dugout, as it looks like Sam Frigoletti is now just going to be the batter. The pitch, cut on and missed. Frigoletti wanted to work the count if need be. We'll see if he can do some damage here, as the hits are contagious here in the top of the 6th. Berglund taking the lead at first. He'll check the runner. No throw, but Berglund is back in on a dive. Next to Frigoletti, outside the strike zone, ball number 1. 1-1, we're at a now even count. There's 2 away. We are back. Excuse any connection issues here in Bedford. Shaker, one more hit away from getting their Lake Erie League clinch. They entered this top of the 6th down a run. Now they're up 9. So it's just been an efficient inning for the Red Raider offense. Will Tagan's back in. He got hit in the numbers his last time out. Pitch up high. Shaker so close to a 10-run mercy rule. With runners at the corners, Sam Frigoletti at third, Andrew Fogarty at first. Will Tagan's got a chance to do it, but keep in mind there's 2 out. The pitch to him. Cut on and missed. A big swing and miss, looking to end it there. Excuse our connection issues once again. Making sure we have working connection for the moment. Shaker will potentially clinch the league. Stealing attempt, and it hit him in the numbers once more. That's the second time Will Tagan has been hit in the back of his jersey. So he has taken a beating. So has Braden White. He's been hit by a pitch twice in this one. And those two hitters just can't seem to get out of the way. Sam Frigoletti at third. He represents the potential Mercy ruling run. It's a 10-run deficit through 5. And here, as we're in the top of the 6th, with bases loaded and 2 outs, Cole Klein is up. We've seen him already this inning. And the pitch to him will barely catch the strike zone on the outside half. Tagan at first. It's Frigoletti at third, and it's Fogarty at second. Excuse the out-of-order details. The next to Cole Klein. Cut on. This one's up high in fair territory. Over in right center. The flyout is made. Shaker so close to the 10-run mark, just not able to get it. It's 18-9. Shaker entered the inning down a run. Now they are up 9 runs. 18-9 our score. We will be back. Shaker looking to clinch the Lake Erie League. We will be right back. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. We're getting set for the bottom of inning number 6. George McGinnis is on the mound, and he is dangerous. As to quote Wes Call early in the season, George McGinnis doesn't have great velocity, but where it counts is that he's just got good stuff. To quote Wes Call, the starter of today's ball game. The pitch, right down Main Street. There's another strike from McGinnis. McGinnis, number 16 on the back of his jersey. He's also a host of the Mad Chill podcast, a student-created podcast, but that doesn't matter at the moment. The throw across the diamond won't get to Cooper Mears effectively, as it'll go right past him and into foul ground. No advancement will be made from first by the runner, however. And though it was a rather good throw from Garnett, just didn't exactly have the distance. And Cooper Mears, couldn't pick it out of the dirt. Shaker's up 9, and it's looking pretty good if you are a Red Raider fan. This pitch from McGinnis, right down the middle. Surprised that number 5 backed away from it because that one was right down the middle of the plate. But you never know what's going on up in the batter's box. That pitch, a ball, that was close, but you never know what the umpire is going to call your way and what he's not going to call your way. Runner taking his lead at first. Cooper Mears covering first, but the pitch is made and the swing is made, so 2-strike count. 1-2 is the count in totality. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. George McGinnis with his next offering upstairs. Braden White threatening to throw out the runner at first, but it's only a threat. Nothing's happening. The next offering, that one's definitely inside. Still 2 strikes on the batter, and George McGinnis looking to get his very first strikeout of this outing. The pitch, and this is going to be a tapper. Just out in front of the plate, the throw to first will be in time. Good throw from McGinnis. It will advance the runner from first to second, but there's one more out. Shaker with a 9-run lead after a 10-run 6th. And really, for the moment, where it is counted is who can out-hit the other. Shaker's had the most errors, but they've had 14 hits compared to Bedford's 6. And if you want to win a game, you got to grab some hits. The next from McGinnis. Just a bit upstairs. We're here in the bottom of the 6th. Shaker, that one right down the middle. Shaker with a victory here will be victorious of the Lake Erie League. And they are still yet to play Maple Heights. If they do, there's a strike on them. Some home supporters just wanting the high schoolers out on the field to just pull the trigger on some of these pitches. George McGinnis will ultimately attack hitters. That time upstairs trying to get him to chase. But George McGinnis wanted to just come after these hitters and just lay it in the strike zone no matter what. The kick, the pitch, the swing, and miss. Big strikeout from McGinnis. There's out number 2. First batter up in the inning. Reached base on perhaps an error, but it was also just the ability to beat it out at first. The next came off of the strikeout, the forwards K, and now we're waiting for out number 3. Runner taking his lead from second. He's in scoring position. And now here a liner into center. Fogarty is right under it, just needing to take a couple steps forward, and he will make the grab. Shaker is up 9. It's 18-9. And we will see if Shaker can ultimately get a 10th run and perhaps mercy rule this one in the 7th. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Shaker just wanting to clinch the Lake Erie League champion title with one more inning of solid baseball. We'll see if they can do that when we come back. Thanks for joining. Cooper Mears standing in. He's number 5 for the Red Raiders, number 1 for the varsity hockey team for Shaker Heights. He's in the left-handed hitter's box, and the first pitch to him is outside for ball number 1. Cooper Mears doesn't have too much of a bat. He has not been too successful this season with putting bat to ball in there. It'll hit him on the inside. And Cooper Mears going to sprint his way down the baseline as he has rightfully earned his spot. Cooper Mears, with an RBI, he could be the double-digit difference as Shaker's up 9 and 10 runs after 5 innings can bring us to a mercy rule result. Shaker's up 18-9. Cooper Mears at first. We're getting a moment that catcher has taken a beating. That's Bridgeforth. And specifically with the wrist. And now it looks like the first time he was able to stick with it, but now this time it looks like he might make his way to the dugout. And with that, we will take a very brief break if this is the case. And I believe that is the case. So we will take a very brief break as they get some changes out on the field. We will be right back. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We're still looking to conclude this one. We're still looking for Shaker to clinch the Lake Erie League. Thanks for tuning in. And we are back in the top of the 7th, both a pitching and catching change. And Flynn Block is now the batter. 18-9 is our score. Cooper Mears taking his lead from first. The pitch to Block outside and low for another ball to him. With our 18-9 score, one more run can bring us to a 10-run deficit and result in a mercy rule, but that's not going to do the trick. A fly out from Flynn Block out to center will cue up the third baseman, Quentin Garnett. He's the varsity hockey defenseman, the starting defenseman on that first line. And now here, a shot to the shortstop. And no throw is going to be made over to first. Cooper Mears back in safely. So that'll bring Nolan James. He's got power behind the bat. Today he's got one hit to his name. And now time is called. The first pitch looked a bit outside, not the case. Good pitch location. And this one will be just a bit further to the right side for it to be called outside. A ball once more to Nolan James. Cooper Mears taking his lead. That pitch a bit inside and elevated to Nolan. Here at the Francis Griffin Field, Shaker has had a 10-run sixth inning that has allowed them to take the lead by 9. The Red Raiders with the victory here win the Lake Erie League. But they're not there just yet. The pitch to Nolan James. He got him chasing outside the strike zone. A beauty of a pitch from number 1 out there on the mound in white and green. And Nolan James has to have better plate discipline than that. The next to him, swung on. This one should find shallow outfield. And now here, fumbling in center, Cooper Mears going to advance all the way from first to third. And Nolan James taking the spot at first.
This is Marcus Birch. Can they hear me? All right. I would just like to apologize for my pitching performance. Okay, good. Vaughn already gave you the whole spiel, but all right. No on base, just so Cooper Mears just stole home.
Cooper Mears just stole home. Nolan James following suit. He'll make his way all the way from second to home. And with that, Shaker makes the deficit all the way up to 11. And I suppose mercy rule is not the case this deep into the ball game. There you go for Marcus Birch, however. The bit of an apology for his pitching performance, as it was not a successful one. We can all be honest with it. But now Shaker, with the 11-run deficit, with no mercy rule, I suppose. We're this far into the ball game. Let's just close it out. Will Berglund up at the plate. 20-9 now our score. And the next to Berglund. Swung on. This one fouled back. Into the grass behind our baseball field. Over near that parking lot. It did not have that much strength on it to hit a car. But we have seen that in plenty of baseball fields. The parking lot just being too close to a baseball field. Here, not the case. This baseball field that has a very different structure to it. A dip into the land, as we've got a hill kind of structure built into it. And also it's got the lights as well surrounding the baseball field. Will Berglund in the right-handed batter's box, looking to do some more damage. Shaker with the 11-run lead, and this one's outside and low. Braden White in the on-deck circle. He's the sophomore playing behind the dish here today. This one to him, fouled back. And off the bleacher and into the grass. Berglund fighting this AB, looking to close it out. With a bang. The pitch. Down low a ball. Berglund walks. And the sophomore Braden White back up to the plate. It has been a long couple of innings for Bedford. Next offering, upstairs. Berglund taking his lead. Braden White fouling it back into the cage. And off the backstop. Fogarty in the on-deck circle. Braden White looking to grab some more insurance. Shaker's up 11, but you never know in the name of high school baseball. And here a liner, a shot into right center, and the catch is made, and the half inning is retired. We will be right back as Shaker has one more half inning until they perhaps clinch the Lake Erie League. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We are getting set for the bottom of inning number 7. Thank you for joining us. Shaker is up 20-9. Looking to just close this one out and clinch the Lake Erie League champion title. The first of the inning from George McGinnis is a bit outside. Ball number 1. This has been a long game, and a lot of us fans out here know that, but I'm sure the players can feel it in the name of their energy here today. Shaker grabbed their lead off of a 10-run sixth inning. And with that, they just ran with it. Here we are in the bottom of the seventh. George McGinnis looking to close it out on the mound. However, that one a bit dangerous. It almost got him in the dome up high and in the helmet. Luckily, not the case. George McGinnis, number 16, on the back of his jersey, looking to close it out. And that is a strike. And clearly, Bardo, the batter, did not exactly agree with the call. He'll throw his bat towards the dugout after the backwards K call is made, as he was trying to duck out of the way of the pitch, but that was just not necessary, I suppose. And there, a bit of a curve from George McGinnis. And the next to him, a fastball. He's been calling that typically here today, or frequently, I should say, here today. But just not able to catch that outside half of the plate for the strike, and that won't do it either. Ball 3-0. Shaker looking to close out what has been a long game. This one popped up, and that should be out number 2. George McGinnis calling everyone off, but he'll drop it. And my goodness. This game has been going on for a while. Over 3 hours of broadcast time now. And let me just say, this is the longest call I've ever had. Shaker looking to close it out. George McGinnis dropping the baseball, and the Red Raiders just laughing about it. This one fouled back over to our side. Quentin Garnett and George McGinnis having a laugh about it afterwards. McGinnis a little confident in his ability to make that pop out. And here is a shot into right center. Berglund ranging in with some speed, turning on the Jets. He'll make the grab for out number 2. Shaker 1 out away from officially clinching the Lake Erie League. And this pitch in the dirt. Braden White threatening to throw over to first with the big lead the runner has, but no action will be actually made on that threat. A ball and no strikes. The pitch, that will catch the strike zone for sure. George McGinnis, our closer today, sometimes will be a starter. Lately, he has been struggling as a starter, so perhaps just a little bounce-back day for him here. This one fouled back. Down to their final strike is Bedford. And Shaker 1 strike away from LEL League champions. But that's not going to do it. Outside, another ball from McGinnis. The pitch. That one down low once more. Ball 3. Full count. 2 away. Final inning of play. In the bottom of the 7th, here we are. George McGinnis, our closer. The pitch, looking to end it. And that's not gonna do it. The game keeps going. Runner from first up to second. Runner from home plate goes up to first. And Shaker just cannot close us out. 20-9 is our score. And this pitch looked a bit outside. Ball ruled a strike. George McGinnis going to take it And that a big swing and miss. That swing and miss will once again bring Bedford down to their final strike. Runner on first, runner on second, Shaker up 11. George McGinnis. The kick, the pitch, the swing and miss, but as it was in the dirt, Braden White not going to be able to make the throw. And with the strikeout, we'll keep going with bases loaded and 2 outs. Shaker, so close to the Lake Erie League Champions title, just can't get there just yet. That pitch outside. One and 0. Bases loaded for Bedford. They're down 11. And the pitch from McGinnis. Cut on and missed. At a pitch up high. If he laid off of it, it more than likely would have been a ball. But just couldn't hang off. The pitch looked too good. But this one will catch the strike zone. So Bedford, for the third straight at bat, down to their final strike. The pitch. A ball. That was close once more. George McGinnis just looking to close it out. Bases loaded. 2 strikes on him. The pitch from McGinnis just up high. Oh my goodness. McGinnis is so close. The next offering. Swing and miss. Shaker wins it. 20-9. Our final score. Shaker with some hugs as they have now won the Lake Erie League. And some minor celebration as now we'll get the handshakes. Shaker wins it in 3 hours. 20-9 our final. Wes Call, our starter. Marcus Birch, Brett Moore, and George McGinnis, the men in relief. And Shaker just really out-hit him to get the final win. So Shaker has now swept Wardensville Heights, Garfield Heights, Bedford, Lorraine, and here we are. They've also, of course, swept their greatest rival, Cleveland Heights. So Shaker wins the Lake Erie League for back-to-back years. Last year, they were 11-1. This year, so far, they're 10-0, looking to sweep Maple Heights, similarly as they have done the rest of their rivals. Here they complete the sweep against Bedford and clinch the LEL. Congratulations to your Shaker Heights Red Raiders. So after the very long game, Shaker the final score a 20-9 victory. And Shaker's got some more work to do before their playoffs beginning on the 16th of this year. This month. That'll be away in North Olmsted, but Shaker with some more work to do before their season closes out. But this is going to feel good. Lake Erie League champions once more. But again, more work to do. We will be back here on the YouTube. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Thank you very much for tuning in here as you have seen Shaker Heights win the LEL once again. We will see you soon.